Welcome back to Daytime, everyone. With kiddos going back to school and getting back into sports, what are the best things they can do to prevent sports injuries? Dr. Josh Bell with San Antonio Orthopedic Group is here to help parents understand when they should worry and when they should let it go. Maybe it's not so serious, because, I mean, it is scary as a parent when your kiddos are out there playing contact sports.
Well, it's hard to know a lot of times because the personality of the kid is different.
Right.
Some kids are very dramatic, some kids are not so much. But it's very important to kind of know the nature of the kid first. But then there are certain things we look for.
So what are the best things, first off, that parents can do, or that anyone can do, to prevent sports injuries in general? What are some main things?
Well, I think, you know, we had some coaches here and some athletic people here earlier, and having proper coaching and having the trainers around is really important. Having the proper equipment, even if that's just proper fitting shoes. Obviously with football, there are lots of safety precautions in that, but the sport specific things that you can do for equipment are really important. And kind of the last thing we think about is being ready and trained for it, whether that be warming up or being ready for that activity.
That makes sense too. Now, as far as sports injuries go, what are some of the most common ones that you see during the school year and during the season?
Well, you know, probably the most common injury we see is an ankle sprain. Those happen just all the time. And we'll see lots of knee sprains, lower extremity injuries, and it really depends on the sport. You know, if you look at baseball and some of those injuries, it can be shoulder injuries, but a lot of the things we see are low extremity. Ankle sprains is probably the most common.
And let's say your kiddo does have an ankle sprain. You know, at what point do you need to take them to see a specialist? Because, you know, a lot of times, like you said, depending on how dramatic the kiddo is or not, you may just, I have one where I'll just wrap it up and she's good to go. The other one would want to see a doctor. Sure.
I mean, we ask people to basically do the simple things first, give it some rest, kind of give it some ice, maybe use an over-the-counter medication. Certainly if they can't put weight on it, or you see a lot of swelling or deformity, those are times for sure to come in. I usually tell parents that if there's a question, I think it's a good idea to see someone about it, because if it lingers on a couple of days, it's certainly something that should be seen. We like to get an x-ray and make sure there's not a fracture.
And then finally, you know, a lot of people, they say, well, I don't want to have surgery. Why do I need to go and see an orthopedic surgeon for my ankle? And what is your answer to that?
Well, I mean, I get that a lot. People think that they're going to come see me and get a surgery.
Right.
Most of the patients I see don't need a surgery. We have lots of other treatments, whether it be therapy or medications or other things that we can do. So I think of myself as a specialist for joints and injuries.
Okay. And finally, we want to talk a little bit about your new facility that you have. You have a walk-in facility, which is awesome. So people can come see you at any point?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, if you go to an urgent care or emergency room, you might be there with a bunch of colds and other things. This is a sports injury only kind of clinic.
Okay.
And it's from 11 to 7, 11:30 to 7:30. It's at 2 different locations.
That's great for people, especially this time of year. What am I saying? All year, because kids they're moving and shaking and doing crazy things all year. So it's good to know you guys are there. Thank you so much, Dr. Bell. And if you would like more information on the San Antonio Orthopedic Group, there is the phone number there, 210-804-5400. You can also go online and find them at TSAOG.com. And they're really cool. They're on social media too. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And stick around.